Respiration. Let us understand the types of respiration. The food that contains glucose breakdown in the presence of oxygen is called as aerobic respiration. When the breakdown of glucose takes place in the absence of oxygen, it is termed as anaerobic respiration. Respiration in organisms. Have you noticed that after every activity, the person starts breathing faster? Why is it so? Why do we breathe faster and vigorously after heavy exercise? Is breathing a part of respiration? What is the underlying process? Let us explore the answers of these queries. Before understanding the need of respiration, let us study what cellular respiration is. It is the process of breakdown of food in the cells with the release of energy. Our body is made up of trillions of cells. Each cell performs the functions of digestion, excretion, respiration, reproduction, and nutrition. For the cell to carry out these processes, energy is required, which is obtained from the food that we eat. Therefore, it is advised to have the food rich in nutrients so that it can produce energy and keep us free from diseases. Anaerobic respiration in yeast. You must have seen baker using yeast to make pizza. Did you know that yeast is a unicellular organism that carries out respiration in the absence of oxygen? Take a pinch of yeast on a slide and add few drops of water. Now observe under the microscope. What did you see? Yes, these are the yeast which undergoes anaerobic respiration. Glucose converts into alcohol and carbon dioxide and generates energy. They produce alcohol as a byproduct of respiration. These yeasts or anaerobes are used in industries for manufacturing alcohol, beer, and wines. Anaerobic respiration in humans. Have you ever thought that anaerobic respiration occurs in our body also? After a heavy workout, Anuj got muscle cramps. What could be the reason behind this? Well, it is simple. When we perform heavy exercise or workout, our body's demand for oxygen also increases. The supply is limited, therefore the body switches to anaerobic respiration in muscles. It produces lactic acid by partial breakdown of glucose, which causes the muscle cramps. Now, what is the solution to these muscle cramps? Well, take a hot bath or massage, which will allow the circulation of blood, and ultimately the oxygen reaches each cell and breaks the lactic acid into carbon dioxide and water. How do we breathe? Let us study the mechanism of breathing. When we inhale air, it passes through our nostrils into the nasal cavity. From the nasal cavity, the air reaches our lungs through the windpipe. Lungs are present in the chest cavity. This cavity is surrounded by ribs on the sides. A large muscular sheet called diaphragm forms the floor of the chest cavity. Breathing involves the movement of the diaphragm and the rib cage. During inhalation, ribs move up and outwards and diaphragm moves down. This movement increases space in our chest cavity and air rushes into the lungs. The lungs get filled with air. During exhalation, ribs move down and inwards, while diaphragm moves up to its earlier position. This reduces the size of the chest cavity, and air is pushed out of the lungs. The air pipe or the trachea inside the lungs divides into bronchi, which further branches into bronchioles. There is small sac-like structure present in the lungs called as alveoli. These alveoli help in exchange of gases and increase the area of absorption of oxygen. In the lungs, the oxygen-rich blood goes to the heart, and the carbon dioxide-rich air enters the lungs from where it is exhaled out of the body. The mechanism of breathing. We breathe continuously from our birth. This process never stops. Breathing involves two processes: inhalation and exhalation. When we take in the oxygen-rich air in our body, it is called inhalation, and giving out carbon dioxide-rich air is called exhalation. A breath means one inhalation plus one exhalation. The breathing rate of a resting person is between 18 to 20 per minute. Breathing in earthworm. How does the earthworm respire? Is it through lungs or gills? Dear, the earthworm respires through their skin. This kind of respiration is called as cutaneous respiration. They have a moist and slimy skin that enables the exchange of gases easily. And what about frogs? They are able to live in both land and water. What is the mode of respiration in them? Well, these amphibians breathe through lungs when on land and through their skin when in water. Hence, they have both pulmonary as well as cutaneous mode of respiration. Breathing underwater. How do aquatic animals respire? The aquatic animals like fish have gills for exchange of gases. The oxygen gas is present in the dissolved form in water. Gills are projections of the skin. Gills are well supplied with blood vessels for exchange of gases. You will be surprised to know that the whales have blowholes on the upper surface of their body that help in exchange of gases. How do plants respire? Like animals, plants also respire. Yes, they also take in oxygen and give out carbon dioxide. The plant cell also breaks down the glucose to generate energy. How does this respiration take place in plants? The plants have tiny pores in their leaves called stomata that regulate the exchange of gases. The root cell also needs oxygen to generate energy. Roots take up air from the air spaces present between the soil particles. What will happen if we overwater a plant? Take two plants. Water one plant adequately and other excessively. After few days, the overwatered plant would die. Why did it happen? If there is water logging or too much water in the root zone of a plant, the roots cannot absorb enough oxygen to breathe. So the plant stops growing within a few days and may die. Breathing in cockroach. How does the cockroach breathe? Do they also have lungs similar to us? Let us study how exchange of gases occurs in a cockroach. A cockroach's body is divided into three sections: the head, thorax, and the abdomen. This is the internal structure of a cockroach. It has small opening on the body called spiracles, through which exchanges of gases takes place. The body possesses a network of air tubes called trachea for gas exchange. Oxygen-rich air rushes through spiracles into the tracheal tubes, diffuses into the body tissue, and reaches every cell of the body. Similarly, carbon dioxide from the cells goes into the tracheal tubes and moves out through spiracles.